We are live. So, happy Monday, everybody. How was your guys' weekend?
Very busy for me.
I would say mine was boring.
That's kind of what you guys were talking about a little bit earlier. I saw, because as you guys know, I'm kind of in and out on our personal chats. So I was like, oh, okay. Looking at kind of what everyone did over the weekend, I quickly, let you guys know what I had done and gone from there. So, would anyone like to talk about what happened the last time that we played? Last we saw our heroes.
Heroes is a bit stretching it.
Just a bit.
Maybe not heroes quite yet.
I think at this point we're just murderers. if I'm being honest here. Last time we'd all met up.
They threatened us, so we're not quite murder hobos yet.
No, I didn't say murder hobos. I said we're murderers. I mean, we killed them in cold blood. They attacked first. So we could have just knocked them out. We killed them. Let's provoke murder.
Hey, I knocked the one healer out.
Yeah.
I completely killed the other healer, but I knocked one of them out.
The first strike in combat was technically knocking somebody out. Plus, didn't kill that guy that was prone either. So.
Well, no. The first strike in combat, if we want to get technical here, I believe the first strike in combat was straight up murder, as they had not landed a strike on us prior, and we decided to redecorate the floor with their blood, as it were.
That seems fairly accurate to what happened last time. Yes.
But you know what?
We were just better at it than they were. That's really their fault, if you think about it.
And they were also trying to kill, like, a couple people without even confirming that they were, like, elves or dragonborn, I don't know.
Well,
I don't have a problem with killing them.
Well, look, I never said I had a problem with it. I just want to correct a few statements that were tossed around here and there.
So,
okay.
I've been, so you guys have your, the party notes section here. And if you guys look in there, I actually put a quick breakdown of what happened last session from my perspective.
Party notes?
Yes.
Yep.
In the party notes, I put, the party met with Edric, owner of the Weeping Willow Tavern, in Bedhouse. Edric begged one of the party members not to kill anyone. A tipsy bounty hunter overheard that one of the party members may be a dragonborn, and decided he wanted to get into his face. A fight followed. Most of the enemies eventually fled the combat. After the remaining bounty hunters left, the door to the tavern opened as a group of undead came in, followed by a man being carried on a palanquin. He was later revealed to be Calrul, scion of Nos. And that session 1 ended with the party taking Edric's red gold and being allowed to stay the night free of charge in the bedhouse.
I guess technically we got paid to stay there since he gave us his gold.
That's true, I guess. Yeah, so, I mean...
But then we ate it, so it's kind of
I disposed of it properly. I don't know what you're talking about, this eating stuff.
Well, not yet.
So, I've also been kind of sharing a lot of cool stuff that I've been finding over the week that's D&D related with you guys. Some stuff that people have probably seen and other things that they may not know about. So any aspiring DMs, I would say, I don't know if I can use them here on our stream, but there is the Battle Maps Reddit, which has been super cool. I've loved going on there and checking stuff out. And just a couple of really cool YouTubers that maybe we can talk about in the future at the beginning of one of these videos. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get us started on the right foot.
Not the left.
That's correct. Just like Dio, we start on the right foot. I feel very dirty for making a JoJo's reference in a D&D game.
You should be banished for that. Hang him by his toes.
That's the real final boss. Is you guys are gonna get to level 20 and then shock and awe. It was Dio.
Well, guess I'm quitting the campaign early.
Oh my gosh.
Session 2, Zane Wee commits seppuku. And that's how it ends.
Game over. Alright, so starting out, I actually was going to start on Zane Wee. As so if you guys didn't know, in the actual book, it describes a long rest as 8 hours of downtime. This includes at least 6 hours of sleep and 2 hours of light activity. Seinui, you recently ingested something.
Yes.
And by morning, your body is ready to be rid of that thing. So,
that being the case, Zainui is gonna wake up, feeling that his gut's feeling a bit tired of this magical gold. He's gonna slink his way outside, find a nice little bush, and relieve himself of the day's prior meals.
Ooh, hold up.
Fancy way of saying he's taking a dump.
That is it.
Yeah, we got that. We all got that.
That is the fancy way of saying that. Yes, that is. Thank you. So Saintly, as you first on your way out and on your way back in, whenever you come back to rejoin your small group of ragtag adventurers, you see that there are at this point in the morning, the tavern owner Edric is up, and he's kind of moved the table, moved some of the chairs to where people can have good sitting arrangements. You can see that there are 3 additional people, a gentleman probably 5'10" or 11, very well built, a little bit darker skin tone, with a gold loop earring in his left ear, standing with his arms crossed, leaning against the wall. As you step out, everyone kind of goes quiet. You can see a woman next to him, probably a little bit younger. He's at the oldest 40, like late 30s, early 40s. And the woman sitting next to him is maybe a couple years younger. Very much sun-kissed skin, with freckles, auburn-colored hair. You can see that there's a young girl, probably 11 or 12, sitting next to her, who has kind of like almost a caramel-colored skin with auburn-colored hair, sitting at the table. Everyone kind of goes quiet as you walk out. Once you come back in, once again, people kind of put their attention to the door. As you're coming back in, you can see that there are more people that have come in from the town. People that appear to be dressed as farmers or general laborers, sitting in the room with Edric. This is also the first time that you would be seeing a woman pretty close to Edric's age. Edric is in his early 50s. And there's a woman late 40s, early 50s that's sitting with him, that you assume to be the mythical wife that he talked about the night before. And so while you're taking care of your duties, I believe that one of our players also wanted to take part of this time to speak with another player.
So,
character.
first of all, when Zara wakes up, she's going to make sure to reapply her disguise from the night before.
Okay.
So, Zara's being careful. She's not going to sleep in the disguise, obviously. So she made sure to, once morning came and got freshened up and reapplied the full disguise so she looks human once again.
Okay, that's not a problem.
Then, just gonna look around to see who else is awake by that point.
I was gonna say I know Belagorn was up a little late, but since you and Belagorn actually only have to really be in bed for about 4 hours, it's up to Belagorn if he's up yet.
Yeah, I'll say I started meditating after speaking with the tavern owner.
Okay,
And
so
then got
after
up after
your
the 4 hours.
Breck is generally an early riser, so he'd probably be up at this stage.
okay.
I would say that Cortana has been probably still helping out as much as she can with the tavern.
Okay, so you kind of got up and went out, seeing that they were starting to have some kind of town meeting or town members coming in to speak. You've been helping get like breakfast and ale and different types of drinks around for the people sitting in the open room. Okay.
So if Zara can find a appropriate moment when she and Breck have some time away from prying ears.
So Breck would probably just be down having some breakfast. He kind of takes his time with it, and, like arranges his food very delicately. Like tries to make sure everything is just so as he's eating. He gets very enthused about making sure the flavors don't like mix properly. So it's not like he's separating things out. He's actually like putting some of the foods next to other foods to maximize their flavor. And he spends kind of a long time doing that.
Are you sitting alone when you're doing this?
Yeah, there'd be no one at the table. I imagine it's weird for other guests at the inn to just watch a very large half orc put things next to.
So while you're still in the midst of rearranging things, Zara will walk up to the table and take a seat kind of across from you. And then just look up at you and ask, "Is it alright if I join you for a moment?"
Yeah, I got more than a moment or two. Come on, grab a seat. That's all right.
I was just wondering how you're doing.
I would say it's been better. We did kill several people on the floor of an inn after making a very simple promise to not do exactly that thing. It seemed like that was a very reasonable promise that I wasn't expecting to break yesterday, so,
Well, in all fairness, we were hardly left with a choice. Well, I suppose the alternative would have been us getting killed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I regret it, I'm just saying I don't like it. It was a lot.
Do you like fighting at all?
I mean, sometimes you have to, and I get that, but it does not bring me any joy or anything like that. No.
You really didn't look like you were enjoying yourself last night.
Yeah, that seems right. He kind of like it's an exhaling chuckle.
I suppose.
Yeah, continue. Sorry about that.
I suppose another way of saying it is, you didn't seem like yourself during the battle. Not that I know you all that well, just it seemed very off.
Oh, yeah, that does happen. Usually, you have to ask for it most of the time, but sometimes it could just kind of pop up. Um, so I'm always in touch, right, with the folks in my tribe who've been dead for a long time, people who have done better things than I ever have, most certainly. Um, and if you're in my position, you can ask for a little bit of help, but they're not especially subtle about how they give it in that kind of situation. They just kind of get you, and then they take care of it for you.
So you asked for this?
Yeah, I thought I might need it. I didn't do that much. I think like maybe they were just trying to get me to be more scary or something like that. Because I don't even think I did. I hurt? Did I get anyone? I didn't kill anyone, right?
I don't believe so.
It's all
Well,
kind of a blur to me.
you almost killed that one fellow that was very loud, but I managed to slit his throat before you had to worry about it. So, hey, at least you technically kept your promise.
Yeah, we're all one group, so no, didn't really keep it. Not when we're together. Anyone breaks it, we all break.
We've only known each other for, what, a week? I mean, one can excuse a bit of a tolerance in these matters.
Yeah, but we're together. We're a group. That's how that is. I don't make any excuses for that kind of thing. I broke the promise just like everybody else because we're in it together. Uh, I'm not saying that we had many choices in it, but
You
it's
have a
it's hard.
very direct way of looking at things, don't you?
I I suppose. Don't know. It was for we're together. We're together. That's how that is.
No, it's quite nice. It's always good to remember that not everything is gray.
Yeah. And he kind of like looks you over when you say the word gray a little bit. Um, how often you make yourself look like that? Get yourself all made up.
The right tools and a lot of practice.
You do it most days?
Only when it's most convenient.
Be easier if it wasn't convenient at all. Be better if you didn't have to.
Well, that's certainly one of my goals in life, I guess you could say. But, well, let's just say, and she looks around the tavern. I don't think this meal would be quite as enjoyable if I didn't.
I don't intend to break the promise twice in like a 14-hour period. I think we're okay with you all made up. That's no.
Well, don't go telling everybody a woman's secrets.
You look nice. You took your time today. It's not a big secret.
Well, I was in the back of a bumpy car ride last time.
Yeah, it's all right. You can tell that he's like really embarrassed. He thought he was being subtle about describing a disguising situation, but it's not really something he's especially good at. And he's like kind of looking around the room to make sure no one is looking at the two of them.
Fortunately, though nobody, you guys have been quiet enough in your conversation that people haven't really heard what you're talking about, but the townsfolk do seem to be kind of watching you guys as your outsiders. Those townfolk that are in the tavern. And you can see that they're having similar conversations, kind of talking amongst themselves in very hushed and low tones.
At that point, Baldos will join his companions.
Okay.
I don't know about you guys, but sleeping in a bed is fantastic.
So how loud are you being, Baldos?
Pretty loud.
You are very, because I know you're a very flamboyant person. You're kind of, when you make your presence known, you make your presence known.
Exactly.
So are you asking about his voice or his clothing?
No, his clothing is obvious. Um, so as you kind of come out, you make your presence known. Sorry, you would have heard that. I'm gonna say that Belagorn probably heard that as well.
Yep.
Because it's not exactly a large establishment.
Do I get the vibe that you're trying to call attention to yourself, or is this just your natural state of being?
It's just my natural state of being.
Cool.
And being that I see the party starting to gather, I'll go over there too.
Okay.
Um,
So, go ahead.
I'd say at this point, after serving a bunch of people and seeing that everybody's kind of coming together, I'll flounce over with whatever else food and drinks that people don't have and kind of plop down next to them as well.
Okay.
So-
Inserting myself in the group.
Sanely, you've started to kind of come in as the group is coming together.
As Cortana walks over, Zara will turn to her and just giving her a quick eye of concern, just saying, "How are you doing? You looked a little hurt last night."
Oh, I'm totally fine. I'm feeling a lot better today, and everything's great.
Well, could be better.
I mean, it can always be better, but if that's your outlook on life, then I guess you never see the sun for what it is.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the sun.
That's fair.
Zamie's gonna walk over at this point, catching like the very tail end of that conversation. Smooth skins always have such a weird. Yes, the sun is good. It warms the bones and the scales, makes them shine.
Although the rain is really nice too. It's nice to hear it with open windows and to read next to it.
When you say the words open window, Breck kisses his right hand.
That's weird.
Yeah. I was like, I can't believe it came up.
She'd probably catch that and look at you funny. And just look
Yes.
at you for a second. And then move on.
Okay. I'm
It
delighted
occurs to
by
me that we
Out of
never actually
character.
introduced ourselves. I am the great Valdos, and who might you be?
Oh, my name is Cortana. I'm new, I guess. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well, Cortana. Your help was invaluable last night.
Oh, I'm always happy to help. I like helping.
Well-
What is a cleric doing as a barmaid, if I might ask?
I'm just here right now, in passing. Ran out of money and needed a place to stay, but I'm just traveling around and exploring for the first time.
I'd say a better question is, what is the cleric of Nos doing waiting tables?
I guess I just exploring and seeing the world. I didn't realize that there was this big of a following of Nos in the area, actually. It shocked me as much as it shocked you last evening.
You'd also bring up that any time that you've spoken to Nas, the words that you get back are always to kind of help those who are in need.
To help
So-
those who are what?
In need.
Okay. And so I'm just kind of traveling around and trying to see the world for what it is and see where I can help and everything. I couldn't stay where I was anymore, and it was time to explore.
Well, regardless, it's a pleasure to meet you, Cortana. My name is, well, you can call me Zara. And
It's a pleasure to meet you too.
she extends her hand, and you notice that she's still wearing like long black gloves. So you don't see like bare hands or anything.
Yeah, no, I've made a note that Cortana actually has no idea of the race at all, other than your disguise. But she shakes your hand.
Zanwee's gonna look down at Cortana, kind of like crouch himself down a bit, and like put his hand over his chest. I am Zane. It is a pleasure to be in the presence of a honorable smooth skin.
And it's a pleasure to be in the presence of an honorable giant.
So,
And
oh, go ahead.
I don't believe that I've met the other two of you.
Yeah. I'm Breck. So, thanks, I guess. To be honest, I'm not totally clear what you were up to last night until after everything was over, but it sounds like it was good. So I
To
do
be honest, I'm
appreciate
not
that.
sure what I was clear of what I was doing until it was over either.
I hope you remember the one you gave a drink and blessed the other night. Was appreciated, by the way.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm sorry that it didn't come in handy as often as it could have, but
These things happen. So you do more than just serve drinks and get harassed by bounty hunters.
yeah, I like to help people and I like to heal people and I like to listen to their troubles and help where I can. So,
I suppose as long as you're helping the right people.
oh, of course. I don't like helping people who are mean. They don't necessarily deserve it. They just need to be corrected.
So, are you like a part of the group now? Is that how this works? Are you in? What's your situation on that?
I mean,
If you want to join us, we would surely welcome your company.
oh, well, that's really nice of you to say. I'm glad that you guys like me.
And she
Well-
gets really happy.
Well, in all fairness, like we pretty much just met each other on the road here, so it's not like I wouldn't really call this some long-standing party. We just kind of
Nonsense.
just met.
Nonsense. You have drank with. We are practically kin. And he's gonna pull out like this massive cheap stomach, like what were they called back in the day? Cheap stomach flask, and pour out a small cup and it's Cesar. Drink.
oh, why, thank you.
And she will sniff it. What is it?
Wine.
Okay. Is that what she thinks it is? Or is that what it is?
It's wine.
Okay.
It's wine. Yeah,
Then
it's
she'll-
just a wine.
She's a little cautious, but she takes a sip and is like, okay, and then like slams it.
Well, thank
Okay.
you. I guess I mean, I'm always willing to travel and I don't really have a set place, so if you guys want me to go with you, I'm certainly willing to help in any way possible.
Some people are definitely too friendly for their own good.
She
Yes,
narrows her eyes a little bit and she's like, is that directed at me?
Sarah looks back at Zenway and says, "Not exclusively."
Zenri's just gonna bare his teeth in a. It looks friendly. It's hard to look friendly when you don't have lips. Zenri is friendly to all, but Zenri will still eat all who.
That's concerning and okay. Anyway.
As you guys are starting to get kind of lively, enjoying your conversation, Edric finally kind of realizes that you guys have all come out. As he looks over, he gets this kind of big smile as he jumps up and to the best of his ability, kind of hurries over to your table as he. Good morning, Belagorn. It's good to see you.
You as well.
And um, from the best of his memory, he kind of greets each of you by a name that he's heard, unless he hasn't heard one, and he kind of just stares until you correct him, and he goes ahead and continues with what morning greetings and stuff. Is he? We are in the middle of a town meeting, kind of collecting our understanding of everything that was taken last night by the goblins. Luckily, no one died, so that's a good thing. Aside from the ruffians here, but it's fine. Just going over everything that was lost by the town.
Goblins stole stuff last night?
Yes, they were. He kind of looks to Belagorn and goes, "I take you haven't really talked to them yet."
I haven't discussed it with them yet, no. The town meeting was a bit earlier than I anticipated as well.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's no problem.
Would any of you like another ale, or I can get you some of the finer ale from the back.
It's fine.
Pretty early for that.
I think a
Never
round of
too
ale
early
for everyone.
You're here now, so you can tell us directly what you want to discuss.
Well, I would like to get back to figuring out what all was taken and comfort my townsfolk here.
Yes,
my
take care of your
compatriots.
town affairs, Edric. I'll give them a brief description of what happened.
Thank you again, Belagorn. As he kind of nods and hurries back to where
Thank
he was
you.
previously sitting, as he kind of smiles and waves back to Zari. And has a seat back where he was at.
So, Breck, as I understand it, you don't like to fight?
Well, no.
Do you have any special love for goblins?
Some of them, yeah. They're gonna be. You met the twins the other day. Good kids. Yeah, Greg. That's crit, sweetie.
There's goblin kids? Ooh.
But not like here. But
Aww.
they were with us for like a minute. Or
They were
with
kind
them
of
for a
adorable.
bit.
Tell me,
They
Breck,
sound adorable.
what would you do if I were to tell you that a group of goblins was harassing these town folk, killing them and stealing from them?
I don't especially like that. I don't know what I would do, I guess. Are we proposing something?
Well, I thought we might clear them out for our friend Edric here. Make them not a problem anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
about you
preferable
guys,
to
but
murders,
this
yeah.
sounds like a marvelous adventure.
Oh, it's just a short trip. As it happens, there's a bounty on goblins, not just on elves and dragonborn. Not as much, but still.
Well, if we're killing people, we should maybe not take the gems with us, because I don't know how I feel about all those bodies being used for undead later on. But we could certainly help out how we can. And
Hmm.
maybe there's a deeper internal issue. Maybe they're not just, trying to kill people. Maybe they're struggling and there's a miscommunication between them and the people of the town, and we could try to figure something out to help them and help them come to harmony.
That's
And you're
quite an
sure
idea.
you're a cleric of Nos?
Yes, I think so. Why do you keep asking that?
Some might
No
consider that
reason.
wishful thinking.
Oh, okay.
But, Breck, as it happens, there's also a bounty on half-orcs.
Yeah, it's not uncommon, I guess. Very large though. People don't tend to try to collect. But he looks over at Sandway and is like a little bit disappointed again.
No,
Then we're just gonna hiss with laughter.
it's not as much as the one on goblins, but still, if you have no other plans and if you wish to help these people, we could go clear out the goblins and go to turn in the bounties. It's a gold apiece.
Selling a life cheap.
Oh, they're just goblins, I suppose.
Yeah, but they're entities too and have souls and feelings, and maybe we should actually see what's going on. But if they're unreasonable to work with, then bounties are always good, I guess.
Yeah, we can certainly prevent a couple of murders. I don't have any issue with that.
This one wonders, to collect the bounties, does the goblin have to be intact?
As I understand, it's just their heads that are needed. Maybe an ear will suffice.
This is good. Zenwi proposes a alternative, and he's gonna like lean in really close, kind of like lower his voice as much. We could potentially save the goblins from. If we work out a deal with them, we give them some items. Zenwi has lots of small shiny discs it's not used, and we ask the goblins to cut off their left ears. We take them, the bounty. The goblins leave, and no one has to die.
Well, I'd also like to hear what Edric has to say about it after their town meeting, but if we have bounties to turn in, we can find out who's been giving the bounties in the first place for elves and Dragonborn.
It's kind of morbid that there's bounties on life in general.
Well, if you weren't aware, there's been a bit of an extermination campaign against elves, and Dragonborn for that matter.
I just don't like
Half-elves,
it.
too. The goblins and the half-orcs are mainly just if they're causing trouble. But who's to say if they were causing trouble after you bring them nothing but a head?
I'd take their money if they left it unattended, but I'm not taking it for a head. Someone else can take my share if that's what it comes to.
Wait, I would like a clarification, Belagorn. These goblins that are causing trouble, are they part of the priest's entourage that came in yesterday?
Do you remember the one that came in and helped move the bodies along with the
Yes.
undead? He's their leader, Redcap. A bit more intelligent than the other ones, as I understand it. Helps their planning. So the Redcap we would need to be careful of. The others, I assume, just work under him.
So if we were to pursue this red cap, would we also have a chance of meeting Calarel again? He seems like a dangerous fellow.
Well, as long as we have those coins on us, I think we have a chance of meeting him again.
I don't like him.
Zenwi has disposed properly.
I still have 6 of these gold coins, which you did not swallow. I think they might be useful in the future, so I don't want to get rid of them. But for this mission, yes, I agree. I should not bring them with me.
Maybe there's a place you could bury them. They might be useful later on.
And that's an excellent idea. I think I shall do just that.
Unless you want to summon Calroom.
Not at this moment, no.
So, what you're
Great.
saying is that the Red Cap is the leader of the goblins in the area, but he's also working for the guys who are collecting the bounty?
Redcap is the goblin thinker, along with, he aids Calrul.
Okay. So,
Do they
if he
know where
does...
do they know where these goblins are?
Actually, Edric was able to provide me some pretty specific information. They're to the northeast in an old ruin to one of the 9 gods. About 25 in his army. I don't
Which
think the
god?
ruins are far. I don't know specifically, just that they're old ruins.
And there's about 25.
Oh, 26 if you include Redcap himself.
So
But-
what's the over under on this being an ancient temple of Nos?
I don't think it would be a Temple of Nos. It could be.
Would explain the connection to Colorado.
I did hear some other news that might be of interest to some of you. The king, apparently, may be allowing elves and dragonborn into the kingdom. There's some work they would have to do. It's just a rumor for now, though.
On the one hand, that sounds nice. Also sounds incredibly suspicious.
It does, and there's no specific on the work that would have to be done to earn such a thing.
Which is precisely what makes it suspicious.
Well, I mean, worst case scenario, if you ever wanted to know, you could always send someone who's not an elf or hunted or the like, and to figure out what it is and if it's suspicious.
I saw how those bounty hunters treated you last night.
That was just because they treat any person who's quote unquote serving them badly.
They called you Kalishtar. Do you not know what that means?
I mean, kind of. I know that that's what my race is, but I never knew my parents specifically, so I don't necessarily know what it is. I just know that there's some cool things that I can do. And then you hear directly just in your head, Belagorn, and she goes, like, I can talk into your head. And then that's it.
That is, quite an interesting ability, yes. It also means that you're a second-class citizen in this kingdom.
Does it? Good to know.
I can honestly say I've never met one of your kind before.
I can honestly say that I haven't either, other than myself.
That would explain it. Well,
Would also explain why there's no bounties on your people.
We must be unique, but
Smooth skin nature to hunt and to kill can die.
sorry, what was that?
Oh god, yeah. Hold on.
Cutting off pretty abruptly.
Yeah. My things. There we go. That's better. I think. Is that better?
So,
Much better.
Yeah. Okay. My voice sensitivity was way up. It is smooth skin nature to hunt what it does not understand, and to subjugate what it can kill.
that's a very reasonable observation.
Well, how about we table this morbid talk and go on an adventure worthy of our group?
I'd like to see the outcome of the town meeting myself.
Just a clarification, Belagorn. These goblins, this job to route the goblins, would we be paid for routing them, or for making them disappear, or per head, or per ear, if you would?
That might be an option, being paid to get rid of them after the town meeting. I only noticed that there was a bounty on them and suggested it might be an option.
Because if it's just getting rid of them, I'm sure my colleague Breck would agree with me. We don't have to actually kill anyone. We could just convince them to move on.
It's possible. I'm not sure that they'll want to leave their home either. There's a lot of things I don't know about them at this stage.
What I just don't understand is if the leader's working with people here, then why would the leader also be terrorizing the people here? You would think that he'd want to protect his assets at least.
That's one way of thinking of it, but fear and terror leads to violence, and violence leads to death.
It's not the first time a less than mortal group of people have used terror and fear on the very people that they're profiting off of.
Yeah. Seems like the asset is the meat that they carry, not so much what they are as people, you know?
Well, that's really depressing.
That
Of
was
course,
my...
if that's the case, then we may be dealing with a group of people that may not be quite so open to alternative negotiations.
Let me put it this way. The bounty hunters that managed to make it out alive, it's not expected that they're still living.
Oh,
Bah. Zenwi is worth at least 10 of any smooth-skinned bounty hunter. They do not stand a chance.
You do weigh as much as 10 bounty hunters, I'll give you that.
Zenwi will take this as compliment.
I once convinced a group of nymphs to bring me to their secret spring. I'm sure I'll be able to convince these goblins to leave this town alone. It will not be a problem.
That sounds like an interesting story. I'd love to hear about it.
Well, I have several others.
I am curious as well now. But first things first, we should, I guess, wait to see how this town hall meeting ends up and then investigate some goblins.
Okay.
All right, we've got ourselves a plan.
All right. So yeah, if you guys want to get Edric's attention or head on over to the town meeting, if one of you guys want to pop in and see what's going on.
Yeah, we'll listen in and see what they're talking about.
Okay. So as you
Who wouldn't want to interrupt?
as you guys kind of listen a little bit more intently, you can see that the guy that was kind of leaning up against the wall with the golden earring, he's been mostly quiet for the entire conversation that they've been having, as they've been just kind of tallying up things under different with like a large sheet of parchment paper, writing down the different things that people have lost in the general area. As you guys see, Edric finally kind of turns to the gentleman who was there first. He's been waiting very patiently. But you see, as Edric kind of turns to him, he goes, "Edric, they got my oldest daughter. They took Silica. I didn't have any money. So, if you can find some good people that are willing to help her, that would be..." As you see, he kind of wipes his brow. You can see that he's sweating pretty profusely. His kind of runs his hand across his shaven head. I'm not really sure what to do. I feel I'm a father and I let them take her. As he kind of looks to his youngest, they said, if I didn't willingly give them silica, they'd take itch-free too.
I'm gonna leave. Oh, go ahead.
She told me it'd be all right. She stepped out the door and was gone. So if you want to know what was taken, that was it from us. As you see many of the other townspeople kind of put their heads down, and you see Edric kind of look away for a moment as he, looking across the room kind of absent-mindedly, he suddenly looks to you guys as his eyes lock with Belagorn's. And you see him, Belagorn, as he's looking right at you, he puts his hand down to a pouch. And you see he begins to cry.
Breck
We're gonna go
immediately
rescue
walks
his
out to
daughter,
the.
right?
One at a time, people.
Belagorn, you know what's in that pouch, by the way. That was something you gave him last night.
Yes. There's no need to give that back, friend.
Is he?
Yeah, so Breck goes up to our earringed friend, embraces him very heartily. They don't know him, but he's going for it. He gives when he lets him go, he just gives him a firm nod and makes for the door.
Zainwee's gonna walk up to the man that was speaking. He's gonna look down at him. You said the goblins wanted money from you, yeah?
Yeah.
Will they come back for your other child if you do not pay?
Maybe the next time they come around to collect if I don't have anything.
How much do they want?
A few gold pieces.
Jamie's gonna reach inside his pouch and pull out, I think it was plus 6 gold pieces, and drop them in his hand. Zainwee has no use for shiny metal. Perhaps this can help keep your daughter, or keep your other child, while we get one of them back.
Sarah's gonna stand up and kind of walking behind Senway and casually mentions aloud. Or we could take care of the problem, and that way nobody has to pay anything. Just
That's
saying.
how I see it. Edric, remind me the name of the one who lets the goblin cohort ransack your villages.
Are you talking about the gentleman who checks on the coin, or the one that sends the goblins out? Because the one that sends the goblins out is the Red Cap. The leader of their general group is Cal Rule, and then the other name that he gave you was Occam.
Occam, and then also Thomas.
Thomas was the Thomas wasn't directly related to Cal Rule. He's the regent.
The one who, right?
Yeah, he's the one that sent the knight to have the post put on the board for the different bounty prices.
So does Red Cap work for Occam then?
Red Cap and Occam both work for Kalul.
Right. So I suppose the next question then is, where can we find Occam after we're done dealing with Red Cap?
It's a good question. Well, he did tell you that Occam has a tendency to stop into the Weeping Willow on Sinner's Day.
Yes, after sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll
he
try
also,
to make it back before then.
He also told you that Occam doesn't typically cause trouble either. So he's kind of quiet, but he's somehow affiliated with them, but he's not sure exactly how.
All right.
Which, by the way, just so we can kind of keep this straight, the day in game is Thogan's Day, and it is the 24th of Bloomwane. 24th of Bloomwane. I don't know if you guys saw that message earlier. Later last week, I think, is when I sent that out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
So we have 2 days.
Well then, to the northeast, how far to the northeast are these ruins?
You see him. Probably. You see where Edric is kind of trying to pull himself together and give you a number. You see. Wait, the goblins are operating out of the temple.
Do you know where else they would be?
Oh, it's that temple's about half a day's travel from here. 12 to 14 hours by foot.
Oh dear.
I don't suppose you still have any horses.
Well,
We'll bring him back. Hopefully.
Yeah, you see the gentleman that with the earring that you guys are talking to. He introduces himself as the to you as the local blacksmith. His name is Aram. He introduces his wife Vana. Vana. I can spell that out for you guys.
Thank you. I can't spell.
His name is Aurum, and his wife's name is Vana. Vana.
Beautiful.
And if you guys are wondering, there is a thing to their names, and eventually you guys will figure it out and probably come at me. But that day isn't here yet, so.
Are you sure about that?
I hope not. But yeah, so you see,
I figured it out.
you see Aram kind of looks to you as he, the temple's 12 to 14 hours depending on how fast you walk. It's an old temple to Aegis, I'm pretty sure.
Damn, I was wrong.
Okay, to Ajax. And does nobody worship him there anymore?
That particular place, no, but it's one of the 9. It's the god of honor, protection, loyalty. He's the great defender.
And why is it abandoned now?
just kind of shrugs. Been as abandoned as long as I've been alive. Probably my parents before me and their parents before them.
Okay.
Used to be a
Sarah will just look around and speak up loudly. Anybody have any horses that we can borrow just for a day?
see. I mean, as they kind of look around, you see the blacksmith goes, "Well, I have one horse, but it can only pull. I have a smaller horse that can pull a cart, but." He kind of looks up at Saint Wee. See, I don't think it'll carry your friend.
Zainwee's gonna smile. If we can procure, Zainwee can pull.
No, it's fine. We can walk.
We should probably go soon, though, since Breck kind of took off, and we should make sure we stick with him.
Oh, Breck left. Yeah, we should probably leave.
Breck just gone.
This time,
I mean,
our party members die, Breck.
So,
if I'm being honest, I was just kind of waiting to see how long it would take him to realize he doesn't know the way there.
I know the general direction.
so as you guys are in the end talking, and then after a few moments of just kind of conversating with Arm, you guys start to head out. Breck, I would like you to join me in whisper chat, please.
Oh, fancy.
So, Breck,
Hey.
as you make your way out of the tavern, begin heading in the general direction that you heard this temple was in.
Yep.
And you find yourself making a kind of quick path out of town. And as you get just out of town, you still can see like the front of the tavern from where you're at. But you see there's a wood along the right hand side.
Okay.
As you see a man kind of show himself from around a tree, not really stepping in your path, but just making his presence known to you.
Okay. I have no objection or interest in this man. I keep going.
Off to kill some goblins, I assume?
I don't think so. I don't think it'll come to that. Who are you?
My name is Occam. Look, I think that you seem like a reasonable person. You obviously saying that you're not going to kill the goblins immediately tells me that you're a man that wishes for things to just be simple. Conversation and move on. Would I be correct in that notion?
Did you say civil or simple? I couldn't quite make that.
He says that you seem to be kind of a man of simplicity. You
Got
have
it, okay.
simple values.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I suppose the only thing I really think that we need to talk about is I currently work for a man named Calrul. I believe you met him last night.
That's a strong word, given the circumstances, but yeah, I saw him.
Do me a favor. Let's come to our own simple agreements, my friend. As you see, he kind of keeps an eye waiting to see for your friends to step out of the pub. I'm looking for a very specific individual. My employer wants me to bring him to her.
Who's this individual?
He's a man that goes by the name of Nook.
So you got it like
Oh
just
yeah,
Nook?
he says he's a man that goes by the name Nook.
Okay.
She has warned me that there's a chance he may use some kind of alias, but she's not exactly sure of who or what that alias is. I don't know if she's aware of what it is, to be honest.
So you just coming up to a stranger here and suggesting, hey, why don't I just do a quick kidnapping for you? Is that what we're going with? Total stranger?
No. That would be absolutely rude. My outlook is if you run into this individual, let him know that an old friend is searching for him. You seem like the kind of man that I could trust with such information. And seeing as that currently we may be working on opposite sides of the battlefield, I figured I would cut my highest chances of survival now.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that's all about. But look, if I wanted to kill you, I'd do it right now. Not especially interested in that. Again, we are strangers. I'm not really here for that kind of thing. Just here to get a little child back to town, move on with my life.
You see, he just kind of shrugs, says he. Very well. I'm sure our paths will cross again, sir.
Yeah, it seems like it. Seems like you'll try to make something like that happen. In any case, and then at this point, he's already walking.
I'm just interested in you and your friends, is all.
Yeah, he keeps going.
Okay. All right, we can
He
go
doesn't
ahead.
know where he's going. So he's like got a kind of feign like confidence, like he's going in the right direction. He's like going a little faster than he actually wants to go. He's kind of hoping that people will catch up to him. But now he's got to like kind of pick up the pace a little bit, which is frustrating too.
You see him. You know, if you waited for your friends, you would know that there's a small path just to the north of here. If you take that, it'll take you out to the forest that you need to get to, go through to get there. I'd wait for your friends, though. The forest can be dangerous alone. Wouldn't want you to die to a bear or some ingrate.
Yep, doesn't break gate. Keeps going.
Don't even look over your shoulder. All right. We can go ahead and head back into the other chat now.
Cool.
You have good intentions.
That's definitely fair.
All right, and then Zane Wee is
So-
going to grab the dude who he just gave the coins to, and just oh hey, you're back.
So, guys, as you
So
guys,
So
go ahead.
everybody in the tavern is dead.
Oh,
Just
Yeah,
kidding.
we killed them all.
yeah, that makes sense. Gotta keep that gotta keep that non-good alignment thing going for the everyone did something nice, so now all of you but Breck have to go back to like a neutral or evil alignment if you can help it.
I don't think our alignments have even changed since we started. I'll be honest. At least I don't think so.
Spoilers ahead. Anyway, as so the rest of you, as you step through the door, heading to catch up with Breck, you can see that he is kind of hauling ass right now. Though he's not.
We did want to.
With,
We did want to at least grab the cart so we can bring their stuff back, hopefully.
So, yeah, you can see he's actually just straight heading north.
We'll catch up with him in a moment then.
Zainwee's he's gonna head back inside and go to the blacksmith. You mentioned that you had a cart, yes?
He nods.
Zainwee would like to. How much for this cart?
You see him kind of stare at you for a moment as you see him. I mean, bring it back in one piece, and I think we'll be all right.
Very well. You may keep the horse. We only require a cart.
He stares at you incredulously for a moment, but then just kind of nods.
Just go with it. Don't worry about it.
All right. I'm gonna go get that cart.
Let's get you hooked up to this thing, and then I'll chase down Breck if we need to.
While they're off doing that, make sure to turn to the other man and just look at him and say, "Don't worry, we'll get your daughter back," and then just walk right out the door.
Okay. So, anytime, I don't know if you guys are ready to take a break yet, or if you guys want to wait a little bit longer.
We can take a break.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Gonna make some tea anyways.
Okay, yeah. So if you guys need a drink or anything, need to use the bathroom, smoke a cigarette, pet a dog,
Find food.
as I know many of you got off of work and basically got directly into the stream. If you guys need, take like 5 or 10 minutes to grab some food, get something to drink, and make yourselves comfortable with your comfortable feety pajamas if you have them. And
Who doesn't own feety pajamas, am I right?
believe it or not, I don't own any feety pajamas, but that's only because I really like sweatpants.
That's fair.
Alright, so take 5, everyone.
Alright.
Cool.
See you guys in just a little bit. Anyone that would like to just hang out and talk, more than happy to do so.
We gotta figure out a way to get a little more followers.
You mean on Twitch?
Yeah. Because we have 6. I guess all we really need to do is just spread the word as much as possible. Damn, that's good tea.
Tea.
This, the nectar of the gods.
Yeah, I know a few channels I can probably advertise in, but I like to make sure that everyone's cool with it before I start
Uh,
telling everybody, hey, random strangers are going to be listening on you.
Yeah, I've
Although
just been
technically that can happen anyway.
yeah, I've just been letting my players know, Danar and then the other guy from the last session, Salty, 2 of my players. I've just been letting them know that, stream the campaign. Come watch. Watch your DM be subjected to another DM's mercy for once. Laugh.
how many other games do you guys play per week?
Oof. Let me see here. 2. Technically 4, but my Sunday campaign has
Jesus.
yeah, I used to play 6. I'd run half of them, but I dropped it down. And my Sunday campaign has kind of fallen by the wayside, so I might leave that one. So right now 3. I run one called Monsters Turned Men, and then I play in 2.
I run 2 campaigns, and I thought I was struggling for a week.
Trust me, you don't. Actually, no, I'm not even gonna say that. You know the definition of struggle. You've DM'd. You understand it. You get it.
Yeah, I actually DM for a group of children too, so that's fun.
Children are easy though. You give them a few smiles, some silly voices, and they giggle and crack up and they love it. Adults and teenagers are harder. They want gritty reality and they get mad if they don't get their way.
Okay, you have a point. You have a point.
Yeah. At least, because I've DM'd one game for. I mean, they were children to me, but a bunch of freshmen, basically children, fresh out of 9th grade, thought they were top of the school. But yeah, it was nice. And then back where I used to live, I used to go to this local game shop around like the October months, and I DM for like some actual straight up 10-year-olds. Their parents are present. It's a very fun, very silly campaign.
I have a bunch of theater kids that are all like really good family friends, and they're super cute. They get really into it. I love it. And their dad plays with them, and then my best friend plays too. So it's like 2 adults, and then like 4 kiddos, and then a 9-year-old who plays the parrot of a druid.
Well, obviously, theater kids are the best.
Oh.
Yeah, yes.
It's D&D is definitely one of the greatest inventions of all time.
Sometimes I wish I was a theater kid.
Never too late to join us.
Yes, and I only did 1 show, and I'm considered a theater kid. I've been jumped backstage pretty promptly.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you this right now, okay? The most important part of a theater production is the crew.
Oh, I know. I'm the stage manager for. I've done like 6 shows now.
Ooh,
I would
impressive.
100% end up as a crew because I'm too much of a tech nerd.
I'm very much an actor. I think in all the shows I play, except for the most recent one, I've been a lead. I tried doing crew. I got kicked off. I'm not. I'm very technical, but I'm not very good at doing crew stuff. I'd get in the way a lot. I'd mess up projects, and they just kicked me off of crew. Said don't come back. It's upsetting.
So, sorry, I just got back and was listening in a little bit.
Welcome back.
I've always been a huge fan of theater. Unfortunately, because I am a heavier set guy. Many times that I've tried out for roles in plays, I've been denied probably because of my size. At least once. So little disappointing. But
see, I don't like that. But all you really have to do is just look for the roles that meet what you physically look like. I've been denied at least 3 because they were looking for a white guy. And obviously, you can put a wig on someone, you can add makeup, but there's no way to change skin color that quickly.
Right.
It's and there's actually a one of my favorite plays. It was the I forgot what it was called, but we used the Commedia dell'arte characters, which is like really over the top, dramatized characters. The Stupino, the Arlecchino, etc., etc.
Right.
And I remember like I forgot where I was going with the story. The point is that you have to look for the roles that fit because a lot of people do what's called typecasting. Basically, they cast the roles based on what the characters look like. So that kind of
Right.
weeds out a lot of things, makes it really hard for a lot of people to actually get into acting, which is why you have your Zac Efron types, and et cetera, et cetera.
Well, I was gonna say, like, whenever you look at, like, go back to Shakespeare, which I'm not a huge. I personally am not a huge fan of Shakespeare's work. There's a few works that I think are fantastic, and then other works that I don't think are fantastic that I think get way too much praise. Specifically, Romeo and Juliet, I think is not great. But Romeo is typecast as as a British nobleman. He's dark haired, dark eyes, pale skin, and I know that that's what he is classically, but I think that if an actor is good enough to portray him and be realistic, then maybe we can take the time to go. Maybe changing classics wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, that's where the I have no idea what the hell it's actually called, but that's why I like the other type of casting where you don't go based off of what the character would look like, but you go based off of who's the best, because you could have a very fit, very pale dude play Romeo, but I mean, if he can't act, you basically ruined your play.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is it's actually happened before in a production of ours. We there was this super fit, super athletic dude. Never did theater once, but he was a major jock, and he got cast as the lead role because the lead was supposed to be like this impressively strong dude. And when I say his delivery of lines was painful, I mean we cringed on stage. It was monotone.
Ugh.
I mean,
I understand that completely. I actually just did a casting process this week with 81 children. It was great. But like gave them the whole speech of like, sorry, we can't have an 8-year-old play Belle. You can't be Belle in Beauty and the Beast. We love you. You're cute, but no. And so just like the whole casting process and how it works and how not only are we balancing talent, but also balancing like, what looks good together on stage. So, although I personally do agree that you shouldn't cast somebody based on body type or skin
And
color
what I
or
think is
anything.
interesting is if you read the original works of Shakespeare, like how descriptive is he on how these people actually look like?
Well, in the plays themselves, he's not. But whenever he was doing whenever he was giving direction for the stage plays, he would type people very specifically. Like Romeo is thin, pale skin. Like he had very specific parameters that he wanted for
yeah.
each character, and
Usually,
he would
if you
Certainly,
pick
but
actors that.
but the actual play itself leaves that open.
well, not necessarily. It's certain plays based on because of copyright, you have to do them exactly how they're wanted. But when it comes down to typecasting, when you're like reading a play, in the description they'll have like the name of a character and then what they
No,
look
I'm
like.
just talking about like just Shakespeare.
Oh, Shakespeare in general. Shakespeare's plays are always open to interpretation because his copyright has ended by now.
Now the though a lot of your theaters will still try and follow his like his specific casting type to try and keep it. Though what's really interesting is how open they are in casting Othello. from I believe it's the play. I don't remember the name of the play, but the character Othello.
Ooh, wait, wasn't that was Midsummer's Night Dream?
Isn't
Othello is by
No,
the same
no.
name.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Othello is the name of the guy and the
Okay,
play.
yeah, that's what I thought. But Othello is very often um like Middle Eastern or even like Eastern North African in plays.
Hey,
Because
all right. Let me find me
Othello's
Othello.
Othello is written to be a of southeastern Mediterranean origin, as far as the character goes. Even though in Shakespeare's time it wouldn't have been cast that way, um, due to limitations on who was allowed to act at the time. That seems weird, but like
White men. That's it.
Juliet was typically a young white English boy.
The wig.
Yeah,
See,
with the
though,
wig.
I've seen them edit so much of it that you could pretty much cast who you wanted. I mean, they had Patrick Stewart's in a modern day Hamlet adaptation.
I beg your pardon, Sir Patrick Stewart.
Sir,
The man
Sir
was knighted.
Patrick
well,
Stewart.
no, well, Americans, we don't do those, but that and then Much Ado About Nothing, Keanu Reeves, good stuff.
I was gonna say the probably my personal favorite play from Shakespeare is what am I thinking? I want to say it's
my
not
God.
Hamlet. Hamlet's okay.
It's not Much Ado About Nothing. Much Ado About Nothing is pretty top notch.
So, guys, I don't know if you know this. Sorry, this is like really off topic, but so Sir Patrick Stewart was knighted with a with a batlet.
That's
which,
pretty cool.
Yes, he was.
Queen Elizabeth did it like as a joke, but he was knighted for his services in drama, most notably, obviously, Star Trek, which is why she did it, and that's I love that, man. The Queen is truly the greatest woman to ever live.
She's also the world's oldest monarch currently.
Still also a monarch.
95.
Yeah. Who's
She's
the
at the point where, like, I think she's just trying to outlive everyone else out of spite. Because it's funny.
who is that American woman that got married into the family? I know there's a while ago there's an American woman that became she's not a princess. I believe she's actually a duchess, but she married into the royal family.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I still don't remember her name.
Yeah, don't like her.
Nobody does for some reason.
Who?
Nobody does like her for some reason. I've known nothing about her. I don't know why people hate her.
It's because of how she became very insufferable once she actually started courting the young prince.
Well, money does that to people.
It wasn't even money. It was the fact that she would be able to live out the dream of becoming a princess, and she became extremely insufferable. And yet our lovely queen still managed to look better than her at her own wedding, which is hilarious. I mean, like if you look at the royal wedding, the queen, top notch, lovely woman.
I just want to point out that Zari, you are a little bit late to the party on this, but this was something that Meta kind of let us know about a long time ago. So Meta's actually Guyanese, which is a nation state of the UK. So, of England, not of the UK. I don't know how that's actually labeled, but it's like a principality or something of that sort.
Yeah, the only reason I don't speak French is because we're the only English speaking country down in South America.
Yeah, because
we were
everywhere else is French or Spanish or Portuguese.
we liberated ourselves pretty fast, but we're still underneath it. Now, obviously, I live in America, but I still very much consider myself a Guyanese citizen.
Well,
As
that's
does
super cool.
Yeah, so I'm, American politics bore me, but the Queen, I would give my life for.
Aww.
Long live the Queen.
Yes, long live the Queen. Down with this new Duchess. I don't like her. She disrespected the Queen. I don't like her now.
Just remember the best that she can ever do is become a consort, because a king and a queen cannot rule together.
No, it was not Princess Diana. Never mind. Who was? Wait, 20. No, who was the? Trying to figure out what the title was. It was super it was super new too.
Unfortunately, I
another
just do
nameless
not
millionaire.
follow British royalty closely enough to have any idea what her name is. I know what you're talking about, but I don't have no idea what her name is.
Rachel. No, it wasn't Rachel Meghan Markle. No, yeah, Rachel Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex. Don't like her.
That's
Down
half
with
the
the
problem
monarchy.
right there. All right, so
I mean, her. Yeah.
So did we get a card?
if you guys are ready, Same
So
we was
ready.
able to get you guys a cart. So some of you
Wow.
can ride in the back
Yeah,
of the
I'm
cart.
gonna toss my armor, my shield, basically everything I'm holding. I'm gonna toss it in the back, and someone's gonna have to hook me up.
Alright. While you guys get that figured out, I'm gonna go chase down Breck before he gets too far ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Tally ho!
So so Belagorn, you kind of rush ahead, kind of trying to get.
Yeah,
Breck.
running after to catch up with Breck and tell him to come back. Regroup.
Where is Brett?
Tore ahead of us.
No, like he's not here.
No, like he went on before
But
we left.
he-
We were asking questions.
Oh my god, I'm stupid. Josh is Breck.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a mood.
thank you so much. Oh, I was like, what are you talking about? He's right there.
I'm sorry. His name in the Discord chat is still like his name, and it's.
Yeah, that's true. It is. I
but
could add that again.
In the other
No.
one, it's still it's his name is just Josh Breck in the other one.
I know, but in the other one I can see Breck. In this one I can't.
Yeah, that was
God
the first
damn
thing I
it.
did was like take notes of who was who and whose character was who.
I
All
just
right, Senmi's gonna go quadrupedal and start pulling the cart once he gets hooked up.
I made a mistake and I went to our general chat. God damn it. Okay. So you guys help Sane We get set up. Bridled.
I'm just gonna look at Send Me Forbid and be like, can't you pull the cart like on two legs? Wouldn't that be faster?
Zaimi's just gonna look up at him and flick his tongue out.
I was gonna say you can pull the cart on two legs, and then whenever you get to like if you interact with other people, if you wanted to, as you're coming up on them, you could crowd. I'll say that you kind of hunch over, and then whenever you guys get closer to people, you act like a mount would and just kind of slow down. And
You know what? It's not a bad idea. Alright, I'll do that.
I just like that with the cart, you're going to be able to pull like the entire party. But I don't know if the cart can actually take all of your guys' weight.
The cart can't. I can. Minus Breck.
Yeah. So, Breck,
Yes.
Belagorn is trying to get your attention as he's coming up to you.
He's welcome to it. Yeah, he can have it. I'll give him that.
Rek, you're getting ahead of the rest of us.
Yeah. Well, it seems kind of urgent, right? Shouldn't we? How far behind is everybody? I haven't looked.
Not too terribly far behind. We got ready quickly, but you may want to come back and travel with the cart.
Cool. We got a cart.
Well,
You
we
got
have to
busy.
bring back their items somehow.
I suppose. Yeah. All right. Well, we can. I don't want to go backwards in this situation. I'm gonna wait it out. They'll catch up, or am I going the wrong way?
You're mostly traveling the right way for now.
Okay. Well, I'll wait for them. That's fine.
I suppose we really should have gotten a map.
That, I guess, would have made sense. I was in a hurry.
Zara just waves at them from a distance once they come to view.
Yeah. So you guys, as those of you who are in the cart currently are kind of pulling up, you guys. Belagorn, you rush off to see Breck. You see, as they're pulling up, probably a good 12 to 15 minutes later, finally catching back up with you guys, you see Sane Wee completely naked.
Breck averts his gaze.
Hey,
completely
it's
bridled.
retractable. There's nothing to see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's nothing to see. He's completely smooth.
Yeah.
It's like a snake.
Yeah.
I'll beg your pardon. There's plenty to see. He's a big guy. just
There's
not
all
any.
9'2" of them.
It's just all scales. That's all.
Just.
Either way, we don't
Do we-
need to see it.
I like Saint Wee how you post an adorable picture but make it the creepiest fucking thing at this very moment.
So, do we know exactly where we're going? Or we just know northeast and the old ruins and everything? I suppose ruins might be easy to find.
You know, it's about 12 to 14 hours on foot to the northeast. Probably along the road, since there's an old temple and ruins.
That would make sense.
Would you care to lead the way?
Well, Zinwei, after you.
Zenway's gonna Zenway's gonna forge on forward.
Alright, so you guys, as you guys start kind of moving forward, you see that there is, on the right hand side, there's a small wood that you guys kind of pass by coming out of town. And just beyond that, you can see that there's the main road that you guys came into town on, and then kind of cutting off to the right, heading through the trees and off to the northeast is where that trek leads off to. You can see that kind of cuts through these woods, and looking past down that road on beyond, you can see that the woods are only go for maybe a couple 100 feet, and then you break out into open fields.
Can I keep watch this whole time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cora's a little scared about being ambushed.
Yeah. And Breck would also want to be a part of that situation.
Okay, so we'll say for the since this is approximately half a day, you guys will most likely have to take a little bit longer, take an hour at some point for a short rest, just so that Zane Wee doesn't become exhausted.
My
Yep.
AC is significantly less now. I've only got 16. Actually, no, not even that. I can't wear my armor while I'm pulling this. Can I? Can I?
I was gonna say you could wear your armor while you're pulling it. Yes.
Yeah. So in that case, I've only got
Though-
16 because I had to drop my shield.
Though you couldn't, if you wear your armor, that would have shortened the amount of time that it took for you to get to them, because it takes 10 minutes to don or remove armor.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, if that's the case, then we would have. Yeah.
but
I would have had my armor on.
the other thing is that you also probably wouldn't be able to be fully bridled wearing your armor. But seeing as it has, like, to be bridled, you'd have to be standing in between the two posts that come out, and then there's just kind of a rope in the middle that you would have just tied around your waist. You can just stand in between those two poles and hold them by hand and pull.
Alright, that works, yeah. So I don't have my shield
Like
and
a
my
palanquin.
weapons. Yeah.
Yeah,
Palanquin,
kind of
yeah.
like a palanquin.
Alright. Oh, wait. Alright.
Well, I suppose this fork in the road is where we need to turn.
Before we do so, I'll just bury my 6 pieces of red gold, blood gold, in the fork of the road, so I know exactly where it is.
Okay, so you find like a tree to mark, and you kind of bury it underneath that tree.
Zane knows where his are. Shit them out.
Zane Wees are about 45 minutes in an indiscriminatory direction outside of town.
They are amongst the bones of his dinner now.
And as you guys are walking, Zane Wee, make a dexterity check not to step into your own... Joking. That's...
I was really about to roll it. Nice. Let's ignore that since you said it was a joke. That never happened.
I mean, it's not awful.
Well, the woods don't look like they go on for very long, but I'll scout ahead just in case.
Okay. So you kind
And,
of...
yeah,
go
moving
ahead.
through the trees.
Okay. That would be... or no, you're not a ranger.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No one's a ranger.
I'm in my head, Belagorn is the ranger, even though I know that's not your class.
Yeah.
All
Maybe
elves.
someday.
100% of elves have taken at least one level in Ranger secretly.
I think, yeah,
well, especially
Zenwi
when
was
elves-
supposed to be the ranger, but I went in fighter.
I think I'll move up ahead with Belgorn as well, just so that we have a good spread and we can assist each other in perception checks as needed.
Okay, not a problem. And the cart that you guys are in kind of is a little bit bigger than the picture I just posted. It would be built for using with a horse. So not quite that small, but pretty close. You guys are... Breck is probably... like, Belagorn's not really in the cart. He's kind of scouting ahead, and then you have Breck, who probably is just kind of walking. So currently, we might only have like a couple people actually in the cart.
Yeah, Greg's like walking behind and sometimes pretending to push it forward as though he is helping.
He just acts. So as you guys
Cart's
are
all right at the cart.
okay, so Belagorn, as you kind of
Sarah's also scouting ahead with Belagorn.
okay. So as you guys are kind of moving along the road, one on either side, just kind of keeping an eye in the trees and keeping an eye on the road ahead. You make your way out to the other side of this little forested area to find this little wooded area where Just past that, you can see that this road is very obviously used by farmers, as there are several plots of farmland that you can see along the road. Not right on the road, but many of the farms have small, just dirt paths that lead up to the road, usually coming from their barn. Currently, you can see that there's also many different types of. Each farm has many different types of crops that they're growing. A little bit of corn and a lot of wheat. The rest of you would see this as well as you start coming out the other side of the woods. And I would like I'll go ahead and have Zari make our first roll.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll a d12. Up in the
D12?
a d12.
Okay.
You can roll it in the dice. Just type in the
Yeah.
yeah.
I got a 9.
Okay, so the next person I'd like to roll will be Belagorn. Go ahead and roll me a d12.
Say 5.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and have Breck roll the last one for me.
Nine.
Okay. So as you guys start moving, you get out of town. You take probably about 3.5 hours into your journey. As you guys are moving that way, you see an open part of a field where it's just kind of a rolling grassland, not really owned by anybody. You can see that there was a camp a little ways out where somebody had cleared part of the field, kind of pushed the grass down, and set up a camp. And you can see that these two men are walking the probably 30 yards from their camp back up to the road as you guys are kind of pulling up. You see them stretching and kind of cracking their necks and moving around, and then as you guys are getting closer, one of them turns to look at the people that are coming up and recognize Saint Wee pulling the cart. As even from this distance, you can see the color just kind of drains from his face. He turns to the other one, like kind of hits him on the shoulder as he says something. You see the other guy kind of look down as they talk for a moment, and then just kind of step off the side of the road to let you guys go first.
Zainwee's gonna bare his teeth at them as he passes, kind of like skipping as he walks along.
Yeah, they look. These two individuals kind of look familiar. Their clothes remind you of similar clothes to what some of the guys last night were wearing. But you realize that there's only 2 of them here. So at least 2 of them got out of town. Though I will let you guys know, Zara very specifically, because she was kind of in these 2 guys' face. Neither of these men are the ones that you personally attacked, Zara. So neither one of them is the younger one that you knocked out or the one that you left bleeding. These are the other 2. One of them does have a kind of large welt on the back of his head, though.
Was one of these the guys that I scared?
Yeah, these are the two of the guys that you guys fought the night before.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, they should be
Does
scared.
Zara will
Belagorn
just-
recognize them as the bounty hunters?
Yeah, you guys, after a moment of kind of looking them over, you guys recognize them as the ones that were closest to the bar, the survivors closest to the bar. The one that was knocked back onto the table, and then the young guy that got knocked out by Zara earlier in the fight aren't with these guys.
So one of them is the one that I like scared the shit out of. So that's hilarious. Okay.
As she walked past, Zara's just gonna look at them and give them a smile and a wink. And just keep walking.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy and make my eyes white again, and I'm just gonna stare them down.
They kind of like look at each other. They look at you. The one not really paying attention to you, just kind of keeping an eye on Saint Wee the entire time you guys are going past. And you see that they make the obviously good decision to not try and fight you guys, seeing as how outnumbered they are.
Outnumbered, outweighed, outmatched.
You guys hit your 6-hour mark. Begin to you kind of sit down, take a short rest, get a little bit of food in you before you get back onto the cart and begin walking for the last little ways of this. It's not until probably mid-afternoon, like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that you guys encounter your next wild encounter. As you guys, you can see from a little ways off that there is an intersecting road that appears to be some kind of trade road. As you can see that there is a small outpost building there where there's guards standing at each kind of path, north, south, east, and west. As you guys
Before we
walk
get
up,
too close to them, Zenwi's gonna like get down on all fours to try to imitate a very big lizard.
okay, so you kind of get down, and as
I'll like hop into the front of the cart so it looks like I'm driving him.
okay, so you guys are the guard's already really confused because he's watching, like he kind of sees you guys off in the distance, and then watches as your mount goes from being bipedal to quadrupedal.
Whatever.
Which he finds a little odd. But as you guys kind of start to pull up, Belagorn, your hood is up.
I'll step forward because I'm properly disguised and try to kind of make sure to distract the guard. Just say hello.
Hi,
We are,
what's your business?
We heard there were ancient ruins nearby. Nice old temple. We're archaeologists of sort. Be interesting to see what manner of Aegis artifacts we might find there. Do you know the way to this temple?
Yes, a few hours still to the. As he kind of points over his shoulder, you see him. Oh, does your. As he kind of points at Zane Wee, you see him.
And I'm just looking at him like, yes, what are you talking about? Like, there's nothing wrong here.
Does that thing walk on 2 legs?
Oh,
Only when he has to.
I trained him. He's like he does tricks and he walks on 2 legs sometimes, and it's really cool.
When she says tricks, Zainri's gonna stand up, kind of like if you ever seen like a poodle. Is gonna like hold his forearms in front of him and kind of like hop around before getting back down on all fours.
I just pat the guard on the shoulder and
Okay.
say, now, don't get them started. We'll be here all day with the whole circus.
Right. Right.
Aw, but I like showing off.
I know, dear, but we have to get there soon.
As
Burning
this
daylight.
is happening, Zari, you can see that there's on the left-hand side, there's a cart with a merchant and his kid. And you can see as Saint Wee kind of stood up and did like the poodle dance on his hind legs. The little kid kind of chuckled to himself. Nobody else has really noticed, but the kid noticed it and is kind of chuckling.
I'll wave at him and smile.
Yeah, I'll give the kid a smile.
Huge smile. He kind of like waves to you guys as you see his dad kind of looks over, says something to him. You see him kind of nod to his dad as he shakes his head with a smile and continues talking with the guard. And you see the guard go, right, this is the toll road into. We take a half toll here if you're heading the smaller route. Do 2 silver.
Do I believe this guy?
I mean, he's
Is he pulling
wearing.
our leg?
Well, no, I mean he appears to be wearing imperial seals and
So?
proper.
Guys who wear imperial seals can still be dicks.
Sarah pays him the 2 silver. Not a problem.
He just kind of nods. You see him. Thank you. Though I think next time you might want to bring some shovels. Does that thing dig?
Oh, yes, we trained him to do all of our digging for us. It's quite faster and a lot more careful than us doing it ourselves with shovels.
Are they expensive?
Yes, quite, I'm afraid.
Oh.
Very. We got very lucky, but we better go. We're wasting time. But I hope you have a good day.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right.
Okay,
You
bye.
too. Yep.
Keep up the good work, sir. And thank you very much. We'll be seeing you. Have a nice evening.
As you guys,
Bye.
you see he kind of steps out into the road and starts, gesturing you guys to move through as you start moving through the intersection. You can see at this point some of the other guards have actually kind of turned their attention as he's obviously letting you guys through, and they're looking at Zane Wee as if Zane Wee is some kind of really dangerous creature. As you actually hear one of them, as you guys are getting the rest of the way through, kind of one walks up to the guy that lets you through and he goes, "Was that a fucking alligator?"
Sorry about that. I did not catch the tail end of that. My thing decided to.
He goes, "Was that a fucking alligator?" And the other guy just kind of shrugs and goes back to his post.
Maybe
I'm not
going
going to correct him. You just keep
I'm
walking
not
by.
Yeah, maybe on the way
Hey,
back,
keep 'em
we can
guessing.
ask them how much they charge the goblins for passage.
Are you going to ask them that on your way through now?
No, not now.
Okay.
Since we've already passed, if we hadn't, then maybe next time.
Okay.
Oratana.
Okay, we can certainly. I think that's a very valid question.
Yes, indeed. But unfortunately, we're in a bit of a time situation right now, so I figured it was best to get through as quickly as possible.
And I'd rather not piss off the guards.
You do have a young maiden to save.
That we do.
Yes, there is that.
So it is currently late spring as you guys are. The days are starting to get longer at this point. You guys left probably 6:30, 7, 8 at the latest. So at this point, the sun is still up as you are making your way down, and you've eventually find yourselves coming up to another much larger wooded area, with a path that leads off. You can see that path has been cleared a little bit, but not really. Not a whole lot. It is still mainly overtaken by the growth of the forest.
Okay. Are Belagorn and Zara still like keeping watch in front?
Yeah, this
Yes.
is. I was gonna say they've been kind of out ahead of you guys, keeping an eye ahead.
Okay. Once we clear the guard's ears and eyes, I'll like lean over to Zenwi and go, "You're definitely not an alligator, don't worry."
Okay.
Zenwi does not worry. Zenwi will eat all who call him alligator. Zenwi is proud dragon.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a couple hours later is whenever you guys would run into that path. Which Belagorn, if you you know that the information that you were given is that this temple was in kind of a clearing in a forest to the northeast. So,
Okay.
You're guessing that this is probably the general area, with the amount of travel time and the general directions that you were given.
Alright, go back to the cart and be on the lookout, everyone. There's likely goblin scouts in the area. We should be getting close. Might even want to find a place to put the cart for now. Unless you want to get their attention and try to talk to them. I believe you wanted to spare them bloodshed.
If possible, yes. Death is not always the solution.
But I think we should be on our guard. I like the idea of maybe parking the cart and getting ready for a fight just in case, because I have a feeling.
Zara takes a careful look around, trying to spot signs of runes, signs of goblins, signs of anything juicy like that.
Okay, go ahead and roll a survival check. Are you trained in it?
Not in survival, perception.
Okay, go ahead and you can go ahead and make a perception check to see if you find any signs of goblins in the area.
23 perception.
Okay, so though you don't find any footprints that you could easily distinguish as being specifically goblins. As you're kind of looking around, you do see that there are signs in and around like your guys' general vicinity that shows that there are that there is pretty common or pretty regular kind of patrols and things like that, where you might find like a small campfire with a little bit of food that was eaten, maybe a dropped arrow here or there, things of that nature. Just the obvious signs that somebody is patrolling the area.
I'll pick up like one of the dropped arrows and walk over to the group, handing it off to Belagorn and say,
Okay.
We're definitely in the right area. Their scouts pass by here regularly enough.
Right. We should look for tracks and find the entrance to these ruins.
Zenvi agrees. I'll like. At this point, we've dropped off the cart, right?
Yeah.
All right. In that
You
case,
guys-
I'll take the time
I'll-
to
I'll say you guys
put my
took the
shields
time
and
to
stuff.
find a safe place to kind of put your cart and any belongings. You guys have found a safe place to hide the cart and any belongings that you don't want taken. Like food rations, bed rolls, your general adventuring gear like that you don't feel you need to come into the actual temple with, unless you guys would prefer to take it in there.
No. Oh, wait,
Rick takes his stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like a turtle. His home's on his back.
Oh,
And suddenly the name of the campaign cannot be any realer.
Oh God.
When you realize that 5 of the no, actually all 6 of you don't really have a place to call home. One of you does, but that's part of your backstory. We're not going there.
Wonder who that could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder who that could be.
what? Because I laughed? You guys can think what you want.
No, not you.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. Go fight people.
Alright, so you guys, as a group, you kind of start keeping an eye and looking for tracks and the like. How long are you guys going to kind of monitor the area, and are you guys going to sit for a while, monitor the area, and then start moving deeper into the woods as time passes?
I would say, not being the expert tracker, my recommendation would be we try and find tracks or a path to the ruins and start heading there as soon as we can.
I think that if we find the runes, we'll find the goblins, so we could just keep a lookout for those and maybe try to find the clearing in the wood.
I mean,
Either
yeah,
that
sounds like a
or
plan.
Is
we
it
could-
where we think they live?
That's where we were told they live, right?
But we think they live there, is the question, right? It's not just like a place that they congregate sometimes, it's not like a meeting place.
Well, we were told this is where we can find them. We have no idea if this is their
It's
home.
their base of
Okay.
operations from where they launch their raids.
Okay.
I
well
have
then,
an alternative. I have
Yeah,
an
what's-
alternative plan. Instead of going to meet them, perhaps it would be more advantageous to make them meet us. We could just set up a camp nearby, and if they are raiders, they will come towards us when they see the fire and try to steal or kill the rest of us. And we could just lay an ambush or a trap of some kind and pick them off as they come towards us.
Well, if that's the case, we might want to have a few of us lie in wait to try to get the jump on them.
I don't think we need to set off a signal fire. They seem to patrol this area often enough. We could just wait an hour until one of their patrols passes by, unless you want to go looking for them.
well, I think we'll run. I mean, I don't know how. Do we know? Do we have any sense of how close we are to it? No one's gotten a glimpse of anything yet, right?
Correct. You guys haven't seen. You guys have seen like a sign of regular patrols, but you haven't seen the actual patrol yet, or have anything timed out for them at all.
The only thing I'm a little worried about is if we do bring a patrol to us and, try to talk and everything, or if we choose to just get rid of them right away, that, will narrow the amount that we have to take care of later. But that also means that they all know we're here. So I guess it's a question of, do we want to stealth in, or do we want to have them come to us?
How about this? We'll leave the ones of you that want to talk here, where the patrol passes by. We'll wait for an hour. And then if you can talk to the patrol and have them give up the girl peacefully, great. If not, we'll have taken out a patrol.
It's a marvelous idea. I
Fine by
second
me.
it.
Fine by me.
Do try and keep one alive so they can show us any back entrances.
Oh,
that's
that's
fine.
a brilliant idea.
I'll certainly try.
That's not very reassuring.
Okay.
If I get a hold, it's not going anywhere. Don't shoot when I'm holding, and we'll be all right.
So if I get this correct, we're gonna split the party, right?
No, we're just gonna wait here
Well, by
for an
about
hour.
100 feet.
Yeah, I was gonna say a couple of you guys are gonna kind of make yourself scarce. You guys lower your numbers, but still be in the same general area.
Got it. With us case, Zane Wee's gonna stick around the campfire. He's a little too big to hide efficiently.
Zara's definitely hiding in the woods.
Yeah,
Breck will be
Belogorn
in
will
the
be there with Zara.
I can talk to people without physically talking. So maybe. Oh, I can only do it within 10 feet. I was trying to figure out a way we could stay in communication, but I think we'll be fine.
Do you want to camp out 10 feet near a hiding area?
Sure. That sounds like a good idea if you guys can find a hiding area.
I'll tell you what. You see me unsheath the glaive, you'll know it's
Well,
serious, and you can kill what you gotta kill.
I was gonna say the Belagorn and Zara could both hide near or under the cart. Because you guys, like I said, you guys did find a safe place to hide the cart, so you do have the capability of not being, too far away from the cart, and you could have like if that's what you guys want to do is have like a hiding space, plus the capability of having like Cortana being able to immediately tell one of you, "Hey, shit's going down." The actual rest of the party could hide, or could be not far away from the cart, or at least Cortana.
Or wherever they're hiding.
Yeah.
I'm planning to hide, but not far away, since I want to be sure I can get in close quickly if I need to.
Right, where Belagorn, you can be out literally
Really
anywhere.
far.
Yeah, I'll just be like 100 feet off from the rest of them in the woods hiding.
Okay.
Stick next to Senway, and yeah, I'll be the face if need be.
Okay.
I definitely want to be like within 30 feet of wherever any fight can go down.
All right, so I'm going to ask for Zara and Belagorn to go ahead and make me some stealth checks.
Okay.
Also, give me just a second. I'm going to go and grab another drink real quick.
No problem.
All right, there's gonna be a few changes on here, people. Now that I'm the DM.
Man, those were terrible rolls.
Hey, they could have been worse. Could have seen a nat 1.
Both have +9s. Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
they're goblins. We'll see how good they are at seeing stuff. Or if they're coming.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm back.
not be a goblin patrol. Okay, so it's 15 for Belagorn.
Okay.
And 13 for Zara.
Ooh, that's pretty low, Zara. It's kind of a scary low roll, but I don't think it should be too bad.
I rolled a 4. What can I do?
Pray. All you can do is pray.
My praise are go out to you.
So wherever Zara is hiding, I want to plant within 10 feet of that. And then I'm going to establish a mind link so that you can communicate back to me as well.
My question for you is that Once you establish the mind link, is there a range on it after it's established?
You can speak telepathically to any creature you can see within 10 feet of you. So they need to stay within 10 feet.
Okay.
And then I choose the person and we are linked for an hour or until I end the effect or change to another person.
Alright, not a problem.
So you can telepathically snark me for as long as this is going to take.
Okay, well, first of all, the whole talking in your mind thing is creepy.
You get used to it after every once in a while.
Do you?
Well, maybe you get used to
What?
it, but
Yeah, you kind of get used to it when you're the one who's able to actually speak into people's brains. But it'll come in handy. It has.
I'm sure I'm not quite comfortable with it yet, though, so
Oh, well, if you want, I cannot. I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
it's fine for now.
Okay.
Alright, quick question. What languages does everyone know? Does anyone here speak... Do any of you actually speak Goblin?
Nope.
No, of course
Not
not.
Goblin.
Ha!
no.
That's a you're funny, man. That's a funny joke.
What'd you
That's
say?
actually a question I had for you, but it can wait till after the game. No, I do not know Goblin.
Okay. And what were you saying, Belagorn?
No, I don't know Goblin.
Alright,
If we're
so...
just waiting for goblins, I'm gonna start playing my viol to basically make noise and attract them, make this go faster.
Okay.
Janeway's gonna grab his shield and hammer. Wait.
So you guys, after probably about 45 minutes of waiting, you can see that the sun is finally starting to go down. You see coming up around the edge of the woods, the forest. You can see what appears to be a large wolf start padding down the road with a goblin on its back.
Oh my gosh.
You see,
Belagorn has his longbow ready.
okay? You see, the goblin kind of says something. Whatever the creature is appears to kind of nod. Sniffs
Is
the
this
air.
a regular wolf or a like it looks like a regular wolf?
Hold on.
Holding.
Regular wolf music. It's happening.
Yeah.
Where's
Yeah,
the...
it's obviously the music of a dire wolf. It's like a regular wolf.
Wow, weird. I actually can't find a good picture.
Oh.
That'll work. I found a picture. Give me a second.
Yes.
Looks a lot. So it's kind of a lighter gray than that. This particular animal is. But that is what it looks like.
Okay.
Very,
Nice to pet.
very large, muscular shoulders, long, kind of wiry, dingy hair.
Okay.
But yeah, as it for those of you who are sitting out in the open, they very obviously notice you. As They kind of pull up on the road. You guys are a little ways off. You see it. Hi. What are you guys doing over there?
Oh, so he's speaking in common to us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we are just resting. We are on our way towards the temple. We are doing a pilgrimage,
You don't see temple.
and we're just resting. No, we don't see the temple now, but we are trying to locate it. Can you point us in the right direction, my young chap?
You guys see the kind of wolf creature continue sniffing the air as
Alright, hear me out. I want to, this thing's very obviously sniffing around, try to see if there's more of us, right? Can I deduce that?
I'd say yes. It seems as if it's sniffing the air for. It seems as if it's caught a scent that it isn't quite aware of visually yet.
Alright, I would like to either I would either like to produce my gut, or void my bowels to throw off its scent.
And we're all standing right here.
Jesus.
Prestidigitation, folks.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing that, but right now I have not noticed this, so I can't do it.
Plus, a spell would be too obvious.
Yeah.
So, what you see is as you're kind of thinking about how you're going to go about that, you see the creature actually turn its head upwards, and you see its lips move, and you hear the same language come out of its mouth that the goblin was speaking to it earlier.
It found us.
Cool.
The goblin kinda... And how many of you are there heading to the temple?
Oh, there's me. There's the people that you are seeing in front of you. We also have one more that's off to the side that's relieving himself.
Well, the Red Cap allows no one into the temple without his express permission.
Oh well, we will be glad to pay our way into the temple if that's the case. Perhaps you should bring your red cap here, and we could discuss the matters.
He kind of looks to you and looks to the others. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
All right.
How many goblins do we see? Just the one?
Yeah, currently it's just the one.
Okay. Riding the wolf. Okay.
So that's a 22 persuasion.
This particular goblin is a little bit more intelligent than most of his compatriots, but you see that he kind of thinks to himself for a moment. See. Well, I will bring the red cap, but you must show him the proper respect.
Of course.
And what might the proper respect be? Do you have different customs?
He is a mere red cap. He is our leader. You will bow before him like any of your normal human lords.
It can be arranged. This is no problem.
And may I ask,
And and your
What
two
kind of a-
friends will come out of hiding. Do not lie again while you are here.
Reasonable. May I ask what type of a leader is this Red Cap? Is he nice to you? Do you like him?
The Red Cap is the one who allows us to be as we are.
What do you mean?
We are organized. I'm sure that you can tell that we're smarter than most. So he kind of looks across the four that he can see.
Yes, organization is a wonderful thing. It allows you to accomplish much more than when you are on your own. That being said, you also have to share your spoils. I know it's very hard to share something that I
We
a treasure
need
that
to
I found.
share nothing with you.
Well, of course not. But I mean, you have to share it. You have to share all your spoils to the Red Cap.
You see him kind of think to himself. See, we do.
It must be really hard. You must have done a lot of work for whatever spoils you have found. It must be really hard to just give it away to your Red Cap.
We are. He kind of looks at you with a little bit of concern. He goes, loyal. Is he not really sure what you're trying to insinuate, but not sure if he likes it?
Well, the Red Cap certainly found a worthy goblin in you if you are loyal to him. I'm sure he's a wonderful chap.
He's. You see, he's just kind of staring as he. Call your two friends back. I want to verify that they're with you before I get the Red Cap.
As I said, we only have one friend that's out taking a dump nearby. I'm not sure who you're referring to the other, but they're not with us.
I trust my friend more than your wit. As he puts his hand on the head of the creature he's riding.
Well, I'm sure they'll be coming out soon. I mean, it doesn't take that long to take a dump. You're welcome to stay, and we can continue our conversation.
You see that he waits for the others to come out of hiding, for you to kind of signal them.
While that's happening, I will turn my back to him and put down my vial. And while he doesn't see me, I'm going to cast Prestidigitation to make a really foul odor, like a stink bomb.
Okay.
When you turn your back on the goblin and the big wolf, Breck really stiffens up and kind of prepare. He doesn't like you turning your back on a potential enemy.
I'm gonna, in my head, go, Zara, do you wanna maybe come out or should take this guy?
Exactly how far is the goblin from where I'm standing right now?
I was going to say, you're only about 10 feet off of where the party is at, so I'd say at most 40 or 45 feet. He's only about a round or so away from the rest of the party. You have You guys about 30 or 40 feet back from the road, and then probably as well hidden as he can be out in the woods is Bellacorn.
I want to look around and see if there's any more goblins nearby.
That you can see, no. It seems as if the only one currently out on patrol, or at least this part of the patrol, is him and his mount.
Oh man, Zane's kind of debating whether or not kill this guy and keep going.
I would respond to Cortana mentally. Just say, I think I'll wait it out. Since apparently I'm taking care of my business out in the woods. Rather keep it that way for now.
All right, so I ready my stink bomb prestidigitation and cast it.
Okay. So you set off this foul odor.
My goal is not so much for the goblin, it's for the wolf to either mask the sense of others or to make the wolf uncomfortable and want to leave.
Okay. You see, he kind of watches you. You see the creature kind of shake its head a little bit as it says something to the goblin. You see him. Look over the four of you. I am a man of my word. Are you not?
I am also a man of my word.
He kind of nods as he... I will get the red cap. As he says something to the wolf creature that he's riding in Goblin. And they both kind of start bounding down the path, the overgrown path. You can see the creature just kind of easily slipping and jumping over fallen logs and the sort. Just kind of moving quickly through the brush.
Yeah, does Brett get a bad feeling about how fast he's moving there?
The creature itself is moving probably about 50 feet around.
Yeah, that feels weirdly rushed for trying to go get a leader to bring to a bunch of tourists. We trust that he's doing this, or do we think he's going back with 10 goblins?
By the time I answer you, he's already gone, man.
Yeah, but it's still worth our plan.
Did we trust this guy in the whole conversation? Was he telling the truth?
We make a perception check to verify that, or it's too late?
Well, I was gonna say the unfortunate thing is that the only person that has any real information on the red cap is currently not with the rest of the party.
Good point.
It's true.
Yep, I'm just sitting there, waiting in the woods.
Zenwi's gonna start. We saw where the goblin.
What's that?
We saw where the goblin.
Yeah, you saw he kind of took off in the direction of. He went down that overgrown path that you guys had seen a little bit earlier.
Zenwi's gonna start.
Belgorn, you also would notice that because he would have to go by your general location. He's been within about 40 feet of you the entire time.
Right.
Unfortunately, he was far enough out that you could kind of hear his half of the conversation, but you couldn't really hear theirs.
So I could hear him saying that there were two others missing?
Yeah, you did hear him say that there were two others missing. he said, bring your friends out, and said that there were two of you hiding.
Right. Knowing that, can I look around and see if there's anything here I can use to help mask my scent?
Certainly. Yeah, go ahead and take take a little bit. Go ahead and make an investigation to see if you can find anything that'll help mask your scent a little bit better.
Zane, we can.
That's an 8.
It does. I mean, general dirt and leaves on the ground, but nothing. Uh, nothing that a normal hunter would use to mask their scent.
Right.
Right.
While I have time, since he's run off, I'll just go up to the rest of the group and. So, what's happening? Did you get him to agree to bring the girl?
No, but we might. He might be bringing the red cap, the leader, towards us, and we could better negotiate with the leader. Or alternatively, we could just eliminate the leader.
Yeah, so Zara waited until the scout was well out of earshot and eye shot and nose shot before coming out with the rest of the party as well.
Nose shot.
Rex, you said that we saw where the goblin. We saw him. Pat took.
Yeah, you guys would have seen which way he took. Yes.
All right,
So-
Zaneweed's gonna start to follow the path the goblin.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
think we
we've
should
got
be
three
here when he comes
options.
back.
I think we've got three options here. We could either stay here and wait for them to come to us, which I don't think is a good idea. We can follow them to their hideout and try to ambush them there in their
Mhm.
fortified location. Or alternatively, we can follow them a short distance, maybe halfway towards their camp, and lay out an ambush at that point for them to come all the way back here to our car to talk to us or to uh, find us, and we ambush them midway and take them out there.
So you're done with negotiating now?
I think this red cap has no intention of negotiating with us. I think he will ask us to bow and then try to chop our heads off.
I don't think the red cap's coming. I don't think they're bringing their leader out of the fortress
I feel
for
like
a
they're
bunch of
bringing
strangers.
reinforcements.
Trust
I'd
with
much
them.
rather meet them and have a surprise. Zaneweed
Yeah.
start walking.
That's
Well,
fair.
Do we want to ambush
So-
them or do we want to just meet them?
Well, the bad news is that they will definitely know we're coming, but the good news is we know which direction they are. So if you think this red cap guy will be willing to negotiate with us, then we can move forward peacefully. But if it sounds like his negotiations will be in a matter of like how many different ways we can serve him, pay him off, enslave him, and still not get anything in return, then there's really no point.
look, you're the ones that wanted to solve this without violence. If we're going to solve it with violence, if we wait here, at least we'll know where they're coming from and make some preparation. If we go to follow them, they might meet us on the way before we're ready.
I was gonna say, Belagorn, you also have a little bit of information on Redcap himself and and generally the kind of individual that he is. You know that he's a very well structured individual. And you were also given information that um, he is as good as his word. When he says something, he holds very closely to that. Part of the reason why his regimentation has worked so well.
Right, I'll share that with the rest of the party. That he's above average intelligence for a goblin.
Well, if he's so structured and keeps his word, perhaps we can
See-
negotiate with him.
Saying you said you're still moving forward.
Yeah. While the party's talking, Zamie's just gonna forge on.
When Zara notices Zenwi take off, she's going to start heading in that general direction. But she's also going to take a moment to, once she gets deeper into the woods, into the path, start looking around for something to hide her scent as well.
Okay.
I think we need to make sure we know what we're looking at when they come out, because I think something's coming, but I don't have any reason to think that it would be Redcap himself. And if we don't see him, I think we can trust that it's probably an ambush.
Would we recognize Redcap when he comes in?
I was
You
just saying, I
guys.
was thinking he'd have wearing a red hat, but that might not be accurate.
You guys have actually seen Redcap once before.
Oh, right, yeah.
The Redcap.
What do we want to do? Do we want to follow Senway towards direct battle? Do we want to keep talking to them? Or do we want to ambush them?
I want to see them before they see us. That I think is important to keeping us even a little bit safe in this situation.
I don't think you're going to be able to get people who have just ransacked a town to give up their captured prisoner and their belongings for nothing. But you're welcome to try first.
You have a good point. And the most important thing is to get the girl out of here unharmed.
Yeah, we can see if there's anything they're willing to exchange for that, but I agree that it's unlikely.
Well, what are we doing then? I guess Zenway's already going,
Well, the
so...
other issue is that we've waited until the sun was setting, which means the goblins will just be getting up.
Well,
Anyone here have trouble seeing in the dark?
me.
That way,
I guess.
Yeah, actually,
What?
saying we. It is actually getting dark out, so you are starting to have trouble seeing as well.
It would be a problem. This is a problem. It's so stupid. Dragons have dark.
Meanwhile, Zara's like, oh, finally, it's getting dark. See so much better.
Zara's like, yes.
All right.
So, that being the case, it might be best to wait for the ambush here. They'll have no trouble seeing us.
I'm gonna pull out a torch.
We'll also pull out a torch to help my fellow allies.
Oh,
I'm gonna
thank
pull
you.
out a torch. Yeah, I'm gonna pull
So,
out a torch, light it, and see.
is Zanewee still moving on ahead?
Yeah, he's still following the wolf.
Yeah, I'm moving behind Zenwi. Did I find anything to help hide me?
So, searching a different location than what Bella Gorman looked in before, you do find that there is some kind of animal excrement on the ground that could help hide your scent. There's also some location, some in this little area. There's animal excrement. There's some like mud, recent mud that you could use. Make yourself a little bit more earthy smelling.
I'm gonna go with the earthy smelling. I'll let Zenwei go with the animal excrement. I'll even point it out to him, like, hey, if you don't want them to smell you coming, here's some animal shit for you.
Right. So before we split the party, is everyone else coming along?
I'll go with whatever one else is doing.
Yeah, so would I. I don't think it's possible to stop Senway ourselves.
we need many
We
more
might
ropes.
have to we might just have to follow him.
Well, we could let him go do his own thing, but
Yeah, that's true. I'm believe it or not, I am not against splitting the party. I don't, especially at level 1, I don't recommend it. But
Zaneway would probably
if
be not with us much longer.
yeah, I was gonna say, though, I mean, I've seen weirder things happen. I don't know who all here has played Storm King's Thunder or read the books, but I have seen somebody solo the first dungeon of Storm King's Thunder. So
Dang.
That's a bad idea. But all right.
Well,
As much as I hate pulling that card, I think
Well-
Zenby, how Zen.
Yeah, out of character, I really wouldn't recommend splitting the party. In character, Sarah's decided to follow Senway.
I'm really concerned about them. I think we should go too. I don't want them to get hurt.
all right, so you guys are following Zane Wee, and so there's 2. Is everyone gonna go ahead and follow Zane Wee in?
Guess that's the plan.
Well, I'm following behind Zara.
Okay, so as you guys start trudging forward,
When it gets dark enough, I'll put my hand on Senway if he's still ahead of everyone and basically let him know, let me scout ahead. I'll be able to see them before they can see me.
Zenby's gonna nod, slow down.
okay.
No, I don't have the calendar available straight away, but what's the moon like tonight? I know you had that on there.
Let me take a look for you, because I can check that out real quick.
Or at least I thought you had that on there.
I don't have it
It
on
is.
the
It's there. It's the 4th of Bloomwayne, is that right?
24th of Bloom.
It is the 24th.
Oh. Okay. Well then it's a half moon.
Is it a half moon?
So not pitch dark out at night.
Let's see. I think you might be right about the half moon. Let's see.
That's fine. Even in low light conditions, I'll be able to see them much farther out.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it should be too much. Yeah, it's not gonna be that much of a problem for you. I already know that.
What was that?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I said I know that it's not gonna be that much of a problem for Zara. Zara's got pretty good long range vision.
Yeah, it's 120 feet of dark vision versus their 60.
Yeah, I was more concerned for the Dragonborn in Kalishtar.
Yeah, 24th of Bloomwayne looks like it's a half moon. And then the full moon will be on the 30th, so you guys are a few days out. So you do have a little bit of moonlight available, but not a lot.
Well, I'm sticking with Valdos, who has a torch.
Yeah, Breck is anxiously watching all sides. Very very nervous about this situation.
All right. Give me just a second. I want to look something up real quick.
We'll just awkwardly be quiet waiting.
Well, they did say they were coming back, so
Okay. No, I got it. So you guys walk for a little while. Probably a good 20 or 25 minutes going deeper into the woods. You eventually make your way into a large clearing. As you guys are getting closer, you can see that there are trees and vines growing over the old old toppled houses and small buildings that you start passing by. And as you come out, as it starts to kind of thin out and go into the opening, you see that the temple itself is a large stone structure that's starting to kind of lose its fight against the encroaching wilderness. As you can see, vines growing up the walls. You also see uh, just above the door, which is currently open. No one's standing in the doorway, but it is open. You can see that there is an emblem, which is kind of like it appears to be a hexagon with a shield in the middle, and like a emblazoned sword right in the center of the shield. Those of you who have a decent passive religion, or even a decent passive intelligence, you would know this as the emblem of Aegis the Protector. Breck.
Yep.
Whenever you see this, you don't recognize it as Aegis the Defender.
No.
You do recognize it, but you recognize it as the emblem of the Iron Gate.
Brett kisses his left hand and there's some motions involved that look like praying hands, followed by spreading them farther apart to like this like hip weight or hip width, and he steps.
Okay.
Do you recognize this symbol, Breck?
It's the Iron Gate. We'll be fine. We're safe here.
We're
I'm
walking
glad you
into
think
a
so.
den of goblins, but okay. Do you worship him?
Yes, we will. I'm not worried about the goblins. He looks very serene and happy right now.
One happy you aren't.
So yeah, as you guys...
Yeah, Zara's staying like, say, 30 feet ahead of the rest of the party, just so that she can be like well outside the effect of whatever light they're using,
Right.
and still see anybody approaching long before they can see her.
Currently, you don't see anybody actually out in this open area. There are the obvious padding in the dirt and movement of the little bit of foliage that's on the ground. You can see that the goblin most likely rode straight into the temple on the back of that creature. And though you can't hear any talking like at the door, you can hear some talking just beyond the door. You can see that the entryway itself is a stairway that leads down into a hallway.
So I make sure they spend some time trying to cover up my scent with the mud and local dirt and greenery and stuff. Anything that can help mask my scent.
Okay.
And I kind of motion from my distance ahead of the group to the direction where the entrance is, and I'd like to try sneaking in again.
All right. So just to let you guys know, it is 11:25. So I am going to actually end the session here, because we are
Perfect.
getting kind of late. So, uh, so that I can kind of have you guys ready for what's going to happen at the beginning of next session. When we start next session, first off, we are going to be going back to using Roll20 next week. I will have a map ready for you guys. But my rule going into dungeons that I've started putting, I think you guys, if you went back and read through the all the campaign ideas I had posted to you, one of the rules that I'm going with is that we roll initiative before we enter the dungeon. So that'll probably be the first thing we do at the top of next game, is roll your initiative walking into the dungeon. Now that initiative will change once you get to like any kind of boss fights in that dungeon. And it will also dictate who does what as you guys are exploring. So, say Breck and Sainui and Zara wanted to check one room, and the rest of you wanted to check the other room. Whichever person in a group has between the two groups, if the person with the highest initiative goes into one room, we'll cover that group first, and then move to the other group. All right.
Sounds fair.
Sounds good.
Okie dokie.
Actually, we have all been in the Roll20.
Yeah, believe it or not, I haven't. I've just been letting you guys go. Yeah, whenever you guys go, oh yeah, this is my role. I'm like, yep, that sounds awesome. I haven't been double checking you guys at all tonight.
All of mine were 20s,
Lying?
actually.
Well, because I know that I can go back and double check it at any time. First off, but secondly, I know that you guys. I have to have a little bit of trust in you guys for you guys to have trust in me. So.
Plus, there's no point in lying in D&D.
Yeah.
It's not like if you were playing at a table, you'd run over to all your players' like seats and look over their shoulders when they rolled or anything like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've had people that like cheating players at the table that I'm just like, if that's how you have fun, I guess. And the thing is like I had a cheating player who like still couldn't outperform other players in my group. So I'm like, how as a cheater are you not outperforming the rest of the group? Come on, man.
I've had it happen at the table, and it's just super weird to experience someone like just adding 3 to all of their rolls and stuff like that. I'm like, what are you doing?
It's like, no, it was a 20. I picked it up before you could see, but it was 20.
My favorite is I had a friend that he made a character back in 3.5, and it was some crazy lizard folk that he absolutely read what that lizard folk did incorrectly, or made it worse on purpose. The problem is that even when we told him he was wrong and showed him in the book and we're like, hey man, I think this is how that works, he would be like, no, I don't interpret it that way. And we were like,
what's your interpretation?
well, but the DM is telling you how he interprets it. Oh, well, he's wrong. Do you realize you're blatantly cheating and we're still letting you play? Like, this is openly cheating.
Yikes.
And he was like, well, I'm not cheating. And we're like, yeah, okay, dude, fine, whatever. You better be happy that you're, like, the nicest... Because he is, he's the nicest, biggest dickhole I know, which is super weird. But...
I know people like
well, the DM's not wrong, so...
yeah, absolutely. DM's... I don't think that the DM being wrong is how that ever works. Thanks, though. But
here's the problem. Like, the DM literally cannot be wrong. They're the one that interpret how right? Like, you got the rules, yeah, but the rules are... the rules are guide.
So, real
There's a
quick,
there's actually,
sorry to cut you off.
You may have
Well,
evasion and have rolled a 20, but I still say rocks fall and everyone dies.
I've never done that. I didn't even know that. I had never heard that until
I would say
like a year ago.
DM's only human, so they can make a mistake.
Yeah, that's fair.
But if they make a decision, that's not them being wrong necessarily.
All right, so real quick before
like
we
if the DM's wrong, you don't bring it up right then. You wait till the game's over, bring it up privately. Like, hey, I don't know if you noticed, but in the DMG says this rather than this.
Yeah, and even
I
then,
think
if
it
you're
depends. I
planning
think
on
for like
running it
small
that way.
things, like little things like, oh, like I don't think this gives advantage, or I think this works this way. It's fine if it's like a small thing and not a big deal.
So real quick before we
The thing I was looking at the other day actually is the rules for stealth, and there's not really a whole lot. Most of it is just completely up to the DM.
all right, so real quick before I end the stream, while we're still on topic, is there any questions or feedback that you'd like to give on tonight's session?
Wait, like from us?
Yeah.
Not really.
No, I think it was good.
Are we still on stream? Maybe we can take suggestions from the crowd.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't have anything.
I just had fun.
I also have fun. Anytime that you guys seem like you're having fun, I have fun.
Aww.
As it should be.
As it should be. I don't think a DM should ever be having fun on their own, and then you guys being like, "Oh, this is terrible," or vice versa. Like if I wasn't having fun, if it was just I blatantly wasn't having fun, I think that the best thing I could do is be like, look, guys, I'm not having fun tonight. Can we do
Let's
something
call
about it?
it.
You know? And just
Yeah.
apologize. Be like, look, I don't know what's going on. I'm not. Yeah, I feel like that's something
Like
that's super
Mulligan?
important. Yeah, Mulligan.
I'm after here. Got it.
See
Yeah,
when
people forget that the DM is also a player at the game.
I would like
Mhm.
to ask, is a Mulligan in Dungeons and Dragons whenever a DM is just like, you know what, I hate this campaign, fuck it, we're scrapping all of it, make new characters.
I mean,
and what's the time?
I guess like
because
if
in tournament, if you're playing a
you as
card
a
game in
player,
tournament, you have a time limit. You can only do that in like your first turn. So
I guess like if you're a player and you get like you're like really shitty stats and you try and make a class and it doesn't work, and you can like say, okay, now I'm taking a mulligan and then re-roll. I guess the DM equivalent of that is like, yeah, we played a couple of sessions and wow, I'm not having fun with this campaign. Start over.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have 3 guns. I lost, so I just. But for the player's credit, I did also campaign I started.
Sorry,
It's not like they.
I don't know about the others, but I could only hear
yeah,
like
you started breaking up real bad.
like 50% of what you're saying.
All right. Okay, how about now?
That much better. Oh,
So
much
far, so
better.
good.
Alright, so as a DM, I have had a few campaigns that I've lost faith in, and I've had to scrap them like mid session sometimes. But to my players' credit, I did also invite them to the next campaign I started, so they didn't really miss out on too much stuff.
I don't know. I've had a campaign end because the DM wasn't into it, and I would much rather not play in a campaign where it's really evident than, you know.
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely.
If the DM's not having fun, your game becomes very dull.
believe it or not,
Well,
these
also,
are
I just want everybody to have fun.
well, believe it
Well,
or
yeah,
not,
Or-
these are actually like my favorite games because this was a very like there was no combat tonight. There were a couple of weird interactions and a couple of rolls that had to be made, but beyond that, this is like all strategizing and role play, and I really enjoy the strategizing and role play set like parts of games.
Oh, me too.
yeah. Alright,
Unfortunately,
I'm gonna get out of
all
here.
of my friends are like min-maxers, so. But
I mean, I see it as like this is also D&D. Like, I like the whole game, the combat
Um,
stuff and the non-combat stuff. Like, it's all fun.
but yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and end off the stream real quick by saying, hey, if you guys want to watch the last, the last session in our session 0, and which Zari wasn't actually here for our session 0,
I
because
mean, I was introduced after, so it doesn't matter. My
Coratano
character didn't need to be there.
was kind of a last minute addition to the campaign, but I'm super happy that you're here.
Oh, thank you.
And if you guys want to, anyone watching that would like to see like the campaign opener and any of the previous games that we've done, you can go over to Daggers and Diplomacy on YouTube. Literally change the YouTube channel to that. You type it into the search bar, and we are the only thing that pops up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then we also have our Twitter, which is at Daggers and D, because I am a scrub and didn't remember that Daggers and Diplomacy wouldn't fit as a Twitter handle. And then you can of course also look for us over on Reddit. So if anyone has any questions, you can always go to our Twitter, and to watch previous episodes, you can go over to our YouTube. Thank you guys for watching, and have a nice night.
See ya.
Guys,
Bye.
I hate plugging stuff, by the way. We need to be real YouTubers now and just be like, oh yeah, then the Patreon
Well,
and the stuff.
If you want somebody else to plug, you could always just like send a list and have like, hey, who wants to plug at the end today?
Oh yeah, that's true. I could do that.